comment, just try to make it great.
All right, pretty straightforward. 3, 4, 4, 4, then do the same thing again.
Ah.
Does he have a lot?
there? We're good?
We all ready?
I think so.
Let's start that again. So we're going at 160.
Okay.
Wait, I think we.
Nice.
We're going to turn it over now. Go ahead, rehearse it. I'll say one thing. Relax.
Okay.
It'll be much better if you just are confident. Those meter changes, you put it all right there.
Yeah.
With good impulse of will, not like, grabbing the what handle in the car.
Okay. All right. Let's take it back to the beginning. I just want to practice getting a really solid start right away. Clarinets, I'll try to be a little clearer, but let's stay on top of those. Dum, bum, bum. It's a little clearer. So let's take it right back to the beginning. So anytime we have this in the 3/4, we have the dotted chord, or like the 6/8 kind of feel. Dum, dum. Can I get more decay on the backs of those notes? I like the attacks, but I want a little more space in between them. So let's try that again, right at the beginning. Better start. Very good. I like the bell tone quality to it. Make sure when we get to the 4/4 and Saxon, Sax is not here. Okay, you're here. Whenever we have the 4/4, the bottom, we're cheating the quarter note just a little bit, so you can bring that out. I could even stand for the quarter note, bleeding over just a tiny bit into the value of the dotted half note. Let's go. Do we
Alex, in general, there, how is the time at 22, 23, 24? What's going on there? We've got percussion, and then we've got, of course, the voices you were just talking about. How is that all fitting together right now? Really well or not?
No, it's a little here and there.
How would you fix it?
Maybe, I would maybe want to slow it down. You could
Do
start.
that, or you could just work on those measures alone.
Okay.
Remember, remember back to when you first took D373, we talked about the rehearsal frames, right?
Mhm.
So try to, you think large chunk, zero in on a few measures, try to get the, approximate, try to take it out of context, do whatever you need to do to get it great, and then put it back into context. So if you wanted to take out of context right now, 22, 23, 24, what would you do?
Well, I would have the percussion sit out for just one time. I'd want all the wins. So let's take, everyone right at 22, please. Okay, that's better. Anyone who's sustaining a note, by the way, it doesn't need to be louder, but I need more support behind it. That's going to make the moving line come out more brilliantly. Let's try that again. I am going to try slowing it down right now. I'm still feeling that on the 3/4 measures, the bum, bum, it's not exactly hitting right. Let's take it a little slower. Out there. Right, 22 wins. 2, 3.
Yeah, Alex, when you slowed it down, something about your technique was much better than when it was fast, and that was probably what helped them more than the tempo change.
Really?
When you're going fast, you tend to accelerate away from the beat in different directions, and that's hard to read in like going and hitting an ictus.
Okay.
And when you were slow, but it fixed. I think you just need to transfer that to the faster tempo, and it'll be easier to read.
Okay.
That's one thing, and then the other thing is when you're doing that, you mentioned at some point like belltone's like decaying. Your beat pattern is doing the exact opposite of decaying when you accelerate away from the beat. It's making them want to do the opposite.
Right.
So they listen to your words, but you got to show them as well.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's take it at that tempo again, now with percussion, and then we'll speed it back up. Yeah, right at 22. And for now, we'll go on a little bit, so everyone else, please be ready. So 22. All right, that's fine, that was my mistake. Can we regroup at 29, please? 29. That was my fault for not giving you a better cue, or really a cue at all, at 41. Percussion at 37, this may have been a little bit of me, but let's make sure we're staying a little bit ahead of the beat. Let's try that right at 37, please. And we will go at 41 as well. So 37. And then continuing on into 49. Anytime we have these legato phrases, can we make them more, as we might say, schmachtend, or languishing and long? So, for instance, glad I can point out for you. So trumpets, for instance, at 47, I have the 1-2 line. Ba-da-da-da. Can we just make that really gushing almost? And then anytime at 49 we have these 8th note figures with the slurs, just floating on top of the rest of the ensemble. So let's get into that. Why don't we take it right at 41? A couple other things as well. Trumpets, that was a lot better with the ba-da-da. Now, at 49, can you guys hear up here when they're going da-da-da-da-da? Are you guys hearing that line? Yeah, so let's take it back just a little bit so we can let that come out. When you do get back to the quarter notes, you can bring that back out, but anytime you're not playing that, let's let that fall back into the texture a little bit.
Let's pause. Just
Okay.
gonna pause here. Good. We just let you go, kind of do some things. A couple things that I've noted. Try to be, well, not try, that's exactly opposite of what I'm saying. Be more direct.
Okay.
When we do things like try to do this, that kind of thing, we're trying to be like nice, and that's fine. But you'll get more results if you'll be, I don't know, you'll establish yourself as a leader more if you're more direct to that. And can we start at letter 5 at rehearsal 5, or let's start at rehearsal 5. Which one's more direct? That's the second one. Yeah. So you want to be. That's kind of
Okay.
no, not kind of. You want to think about that. And we all do it, right? We all have these little. We're always worried about stepping on each other's toes, so we've kind of incorporated all these little things, kind of things that I can't say. So let's get more direct there. Andrew,
Yeah.
that was my train of thought.
Okay, so whenever we say something, we want to make sure that we're doing everything to show it, everything possible. Otherwise, I mean, saying something is like intellectual and they might get it, but like when we conduct, we like bypass the brain and just go right to like the reaction. All right, so one of the things you said is if we could play smoother, it would be more musical, or you use a word that I don't know. So after the beginning, like measure, the opening measure, like how much control do you need to be have over tempo?
I think I can step back a little bit.
Because when you're having pretty strong, maybe even tense looking control the whole time.
Okay.
And that means these guys are getting a little bit nervous. I mean, they can play eighth notes, but they're like having to like check in like very often. Like, is he doing something different? Whereas if you just like start the tempo going, and then that's not going to change. And here's the thing that I know will happen that we're not going to try right now. If you start the band off and say play, they would be much more together than they were when you were just conducting right now. If you were to say,
Let's
all
try
right,
it. Here's 49.
okay.
Don't conduct.
Oh, no. Okay.
1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and. So they get the pulse pretty well. There are a few little spots there. So what Andrew's trying to say is don't get in the way of that. Because you're up there, you know, you're right, the players are nervous, like, okay, you know, he's nervous about it, I'm nervous about it. But if you can let them take care of the tempo, and you just ride in there, you come in and out of it, okay, I'm gonna do this, you'll be much more successful.
Okay.
Go at 49.
49.
And can I add something to that? Every piece kind of has like a little feel to it, and this, yeah, exactly, yeah. So it has like certain anchor points in the middle, right? Dee dum beam ba da da dee da da da. So if you can kind of like get that like little motivation, like, and it's really cool. You'll actually look out an ensemble, you'll see all of them kind of moving together like that with you. If you kind of like get down to like what the real feel of the group
We
is.
don't want you looking at the meter.
Okay.
We just want you going with them on those bigger
Okay.
things that cross all those door lines, right?
So can I still use my arms?
Yeah. So I don't want to see 3, 4, 4, 4,
Yeah.
3, 4, okay?
All right. 49.
When you do give a gesture that is definitely in time, make sure that it is so.
Yeah.
Right? If it's second guessing, that's when we had some of those little tears in the tempo, because you were trying to do this, and you're like, oh yeah, that kind of, and it switches a little bit behind. So if you're gonna do it, bum, bum, beep, bum, bum, da, da, you know, less is more, honestly. I don't think you need to do a ton. So, let's do it again, now that you have that in your ears.
Okay.
What time are we at on the,
We're about 17, 16. Yeah.
give Josh a
Still no pattern?
No pattern.
Okay. 49.
not allowed. But when we do that so that you feel more comfortable, I mean, what it would actually look like later on is, you know, you doing a little pattern here, and then maybe get out of it for a little bit, and then you're comfortable going back, get out of it, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and that's tricky to get a hold of as a young conductor. It's, what do you mean I don't have to do every single thing, or I'm not responsible for that? That's a tough
Yeah.
thing. Let's do, why don't you take it to the end here, and then we're gonna get Josh up here.
All right. 257.
Yeah. And there's a pattern that gets established, right? 4, 4, 3, 4.
Yeah, it's the same throughout.
It's the same. So that you can internalize.
Yeah.
Good.
Recorded here because last time.
Thank you. That's a good starting point. First thing I want to look at, can everyone find measure 46? That should be 3 before big 49. We have clarinet 3 and trumpets 1 and 2. They have quarter notes, if you don't know their parts. They have da 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 dum ba dum. I'd like those parts to please be brought out a little more. Everyone else can back down a little bit. Let's try that. Let's start right at 41 and get into that. 41, everyone. to spend any more time on that, but let's bring that out a little more. Now, at 49, we have certain parts, upper voices mostly have ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, and then a little bit later, I think a couple more voices have that. Whenever we have that, let's bring out those notes. Everyone else, please back off a little bit. Yeah, 41. Actually, no, 49, right on. Would someone please tell me, what was I showing the measure before 57 in terms of dynamics? Yeah. Let's start at a subito piano. I know we don't have that written in, but if we could please do that. Some parts in 55, very end, have a little crescendo down. So everyone, please, on the 4/4, we're going to go da-da-da, 2, 3, 4, 57. Let's get into that. 49. That was better bringing the line out. Let's keep that. 49. Thank you. That sounded a lot better. I know that we can bring it down even a little more at the beginning of 56, pretty much like a subito, so that'll really dramatize the effect of 57. And then, in 57, bum, 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 bum. I like the shape that you're giving it. Let's bring it out a little more. Let's give it a little more resonance. Everyone, if you don't have that, please listen for it. Let's try, it's worth going back and getting into 57 again, so let's go to 49. I'll be a little more clear on that. 49. Now, I know this is partially due to just the numbers, but trombones, when you have those bell tones, I would like more trombone. Trumpets, you can back off a little bit. We just kind of have to compensate for the numbers we have. Let's go ahead and do that whole section now of 41.
Pause.
Okay.
First of all, you're doing great. You're doing a really, really nice job. A few things that we'll work on here. Posture, I'd really love, I think we do need to start from scratch on posture and work on being an H and staying that way. When you were delivering your verbal feedback, it was most powerful when you were, like an orator. You were standing up tall, you were giving information, it was very direct. When you kind of, were moving around and kind of looking down, that's when it was less effective. So, and then same thing with your gestures, did not do the hunching and then the, this just makes it, I want you to really concentrate on being an H and making all the information right there. Okay? You're doing great. Keep going.
Cool. So let's take it at 41 and run that section and we'll go a little bit. 41. At 65, 66, 67 a little bit.
Make you stand on these pieces of paper.
Okay.
Don't leave them.
Can I rehearse?
Yes.
Still? Okay. 65, 66. Upper voices. Bum, 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 bum. Great sound. but we are at mezzo forte, and let's bring it down a little more because then we want to grow into 73 and have room to grow. Right now, it's kind of all hovering at this nice forte nebulous dynamic, but not as much direction. So let's go right at 65, please, with that in mind. I'm goofing the pieces here. 65. Yeah, better. Now, let's make sure that when we bring our dynamics down, that we're not sacrificing the accents that we're giving. So when we were louder, I was hearing bum 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 bum. That's the shape that I want to the notes. Let's not lose that now when we're bringing it down to the softer dynamic. Same shape, just smaller stream of air. 65. That's all drums. Okay, 77. There's a great cello line happening right here. And can I actually have cellos, trombones, and I think that's all we have covered. Is anyone covering the bassoon part right now? Oh, good lord. Okay. Let's hear the cello part. Right at. Don't turn back there.
Your back is touching the stand.
Cello is 77.
That's better already. That's good.
Okay, thank you. This notwithstanding. Can I bend over?
What are you doing?
That all notwithstanding, this is a great part. I would like this to resonate. Now, I realize there's two cellos against the rest of the ensemble, but that's a really important part. I want to make sure to come down. So, at 77, let's try to tune into the cellos. So
So I'm gonna run it here in another minute.
Okay, so what was I showing you there 3 before the end? Trumpets, great sound, but da, 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 da. I don't even want fortissimo piano. I want just subito piano right at 3 before the end.
All right, we're gonna run it. I'm
Okay.
gonna take the stand. I don't think you want to
I'm going to knock it over at some point.
But, well, don't, right?
I'll
Think
try
about
not to.
it. Yeah, the reason, and it did look longer. Andrew, real quick, just comment.
Well, he's adjusting that stand. I mentioned this last week, and it's a tool, a conducting tool about how you approach the beat. You tend to rush away from the beat, and when you want louder accents, you rush away faster, but you're still like, you don't have an ictus. Your ictus is up here. You start at the ictus and you kind of fly away from it. Just watch the video and watch it maybe without sound.
Sure.
Get to practice that. You need to like hit something like a snare drum or something where you're hitting an ictus, and you asked for a couple times for an accent, and you weren't showing them an accent. They did it despite you. Work on your ictus. Work on accelerating into a beat and then decelerating away from it, just like a very basic pattern instead of rushing away. It's just a conducting tool that I think you need to develop a little bit.
All right, let's run it.
Okay.
B and H. It looks a lot better. Seriously. Keep those feet on the papers.
Try not to slide it.
Thank you.